Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Fantasy Hockey Pucks podcast. I'm your host, Antonio Capos, alongside Ben Rutledge. Wanted to get this one started by saying Happy Easter to all those who celebrate. We are currently recording on Thursday, but by the time this is out, it's going to be Easter Monday, and you guys will have just finished with your festivities on the Sunday. And if you have anything on the Monday, this will hopefully get your day started right before you get into that. But yeah, so this one's kind of like a special out-of-time episode. We're not going to really talk about anything that's happening in the league as of – actually, we will, but like not like day-by-day relevance talking. But then we'll get back to normal episodes moving forward. But to start this one off, we're going to talk about something that is actually relevant right now, which is, do you think the NHL should change to a 3-point system? Which
Absolutely.
would be, 3 points for a win, 2 points for overtime win, 1 point for overtime loss.
I think that's absolutely the solution. I think if this year has shown you anything, teams like LA have 19 overtime losses, and they have 6 less wins than the Predators and Sharks, roughly.
Dude, they're a playoff team?
Hold on, wait, I'm referencing like live stats.
That's okay.
Like, that was like literally
That's fine.
as of like yesterday.
That's fine. But yeah, man, like the LA Kings have 17 regulation wins and they're in the playoffs. 17.
I know, it's absurd. It's actually absurd. Like, I think like there's a variety of reasons that have led to this season being especially bad, and I don't think that this will be that way moving forward. Like this condensed schedule and increased injuries really affected the quality of play, but I don't disagree with you that like this is just absurd, bro. 17 wins, and like Vegas, the whole Vegas situation where like they're just objectively a bad team and they were arguably going to win the division. Now they could still miss it this time, but I don't know. They're probably going to make it. They're pretty hard pressed to miss at this point, and I think that's absurd. Like they're just not a good team either, and I just think that really rewarding teams who win in regulation, the objectively best team in the game, I think is better than like saying, because you played a horrible game, you're going to a great game, you're able to score 2, force overtime, you got the win, and like that's just I don't know. I just don't like that. That's worth the same amount as beating a team 6-1 in regulation.
It's ridiculous, and like. Yeah. I don't know. I think like LA is just a glaring like example of it. But I think, well, first of all, I think we need an overall commissioner change in the NHL. I think we need a new commissioner because I don't see Bettman changing this anytime soon. Like he's not. And he won't get rid of shootout. He won't change this. He won't change this. He won't get rid of shootout. He won't go back to 1-8 seeding in the playoffs. Like we need a new commissioner to now come in and make those 3 moves off rip. And just feel like this is the new way that we're going to go. And then
add some sort of puck ragging rule in overtime too, because that's a pretty clear. Yeah. Now, granted, Batman could do that one. But I feel like – and even okay, sure, you don't want to go to 10 because he was arguing that like it increases injuries because players are playing more tired. Sure. Bullshit argument in my opinion. But – sure, say 7. It doesn't have to go all the way up to 10. Like 7, I guarantee you 7 minutes of overtime as well would increase. Again, I'd still rather a team win in overtime than win in shootout. Yeah. And for the same – now, granted, I think an overtime win and a shootout win would still be considered the same worth. I don't know. I just feel like ending more games in overtime, giving the clear better team the win, I think is more ideal.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's like who cares who's better at like a single player versus –
It's a skills competition, bro. Like it's just not hockey. Like it is, but it's not.
Yeah, it's like a very valuable player. Like, actually, this is going to go horribly. I was going to say like a Nicholas Lidstrom, but like, anyway,
yeah, like pretty valuable, bro.
Like at his time, I was going to say somebody who's very valuable, like Nicholas Lidstrom or Zdeno Chara, is just useless.
That's not a ridiculous take. Yeah.
But I was more so going to say like Nicholas Lidstrom. I actually feel like was pretty decent in the shootout potentially. I don't know that for sure. Anyway, I think there are lots of changes that need to happen in the league, but 3-point system got to be number 1. Like I feel like Bettman could
this year, bro. Maybe. This year, I think he could. This year has to show you that at least you have to have some serious discussions about how to fix games from going to overtime. Now, like there really isn't any way to do that in regulation. Like there's not really any clear and obvious rule change that'll prevent that. It's just really adjusting the point system and not making them work the same. And I don't know if he was the one who implemented this system of points, but Like I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like he'd be
not,
willing
I'm
to
not
change
sure.
it.
I think
Like less than the
was it
shootout.
him?
Like I
Did
know he's
he
not getting rid of shootout.
did he get rid of ties? Was that him or was that the one before him?
I actually don't know.
I
I'll
feel like
Google
it's
it.
got to be the one before him because we stopped having ties in like the 80s. No, that can't be right. 90s? I think 90s they switched to a overtime shootout system.
One sec.
You're looking at
They started in 2005, 2006 they stopped ties. After the
Wow.
lockout.
Okay, so that was that.
Yeah. But like that was so long ago. Yeah, he became commissioner in 1993.
I know. He's been here forever. It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah, I knew. Okay, damn, I didn't even know he was that long. Yeah, like it just feels like anyone in charge for that long is just
Yeah,
not never
you
good.
need some change up. You need some change up, like different,
Exactly.
maybe fresh voices, fresh views. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get into some puck talk after this.
You're listening to the Fantasy Hockey Pucks podcast.
Yeah, how's
We're not dropping on the podcast, bro. That's crazy. What? Bro, what are you reading into? I'm not a woman. I'm not hiding signs, bro. I'm fucking face value. Why are you?
no, dude? The more positive route, you're just like, oh, Dylan's a bitch.
All right, to get into our first segment of this one, our first main segment, I will say, we are.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a different episode. I guess first we got to say this: if you guys didn't listen to episode 105, we are pre-recording this in advance. It's Easter weekend, as we mentioned at the top. So we just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware, and that's why there's adjusted for this episode only. So yeah, we're just going to kind of run just the two main segments, not going to really cover anything else. And then back with you on our usual Thursday episode, we will be covering, it'll be a bit longer one because we're going to have to cover a week.
Yeah, exactly. And so to get into this one, the segment's going to be called Young and Old. It's not like it's going to be a recurring segment or anything, but it's the choice that I've kind of come to for this segment. But what we are doing is we are going to take all the players in the NHL and we are going to determine who's the most valuable basically at every age currently in the NHL. So it's not going to be like by calendar year. It's like who's currently 18, who's currently 19, 20, so on up until like 41, which is, or 40 plus, which we did as our last one. And basically we'll say the age. We'll give you guys a second to kind of guess who you think it's going to be. And then we'll kind of come in with who we each think is the best player at that age. So without further ado, I guess we should get started on the consensus number one player at 18 years old.
It's pretty obvious. It's Matthew Schaefer. We looked at every player who's 18 that was playing. There was a few, but he was so far and away the best player. Like there's Ben Kindle, there's a few others who are decent, but I mean, Schaefer is already an elite player. I feel like this was pretty easy and doesn't really require much explanation.
I agree. And much like him, the next player is also pretty consensus, as you see on the graphic right now at 19 years old, the 2025-26 season phenom, Macklin Celebrini, the true MVP of the league. I will say, like, I think if we were going to say that a Hart Trophy was actually for most valuable to his team, like Macklin's got to win it. But at 19 years old to be, I think he's third still, right, in the league in points at this point. Is just unreal. And so there's simply no other take.
I mean, the advanced numbers around the expected goals for the Sharks when Celebrini on the ice versus when he's not on the ice, regardless of who else is on the ice, like of the other 20 players or however many get, 12 of the other 17 players who get dressed, like there's no combination that is even close to when he's on the ice with any other combination of players as well. Like it's not like he just cooks because his line is that good. Like he's just far and away the best player on his team, and
agreed,
he just needs some help.
Another player who needs some help is at age 20. Give you guys a second. Are you getting it? He was in the draft class right before Macklin. It is drag release himself, Connor Bedard.
Never do that again.
Oh, drag release.
Nope, never do that again.
Yes, Connor Bedard for the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, great player. I think he hasn't quite lived up to the hype that he was getting out of the draft. I think we were expecting a little bit more of the production that we've seen out of like Celebrini out of him.
Yeah. Maybe not even celebrating
far,
levels, but better than what he's done.
Especially this far into his career. But despite that, there's still not a lot of 20-year-olds that are putting up the point production and goal production that he is. So
yeah, and impacting the game the way he does. Like, and again, like his team, he really does not get the same amount of support. Like, yes, but Celebrini's support is better than Bedard, I would argue, but like the advanced numbers are so ridiculous around Celebrini that it's like he's doing it regardless of who he's out there with, which Bedard's not doing. So I think he's objectively not as good. But again, like he had such high expectations and is being compared to such a phenom in Celebrini that like I think people need to take a look in the mirror and be like, yeah, there's still a very, very possible chance that this guy is like a 5-6 time 100-point scorer, Hart Trophy winner. Like that is all very much still possible. And he's still shown all the signs necessary to be a player viewed as that. He's just, it's hard when you got generational guys coming behind you.
Yeah. Well,
and you were expected to be the generational guy.
Yeah. No, I think the hype was just, I don't know if anybody could live up to the hype that he was getting out of the draft. Like it was.
I mean, I would say Celebrini would have been. Like if he was Celebrini, you'd be like he's living up to the hype.
Yeah. But like subtract like Celebrini, Kucherov, McDavid, is there anybody in the league that could like live up to that hype right now?
I know.
I don't know.
McKinnon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But anybody sub 25? No.
Yeah. Yes, that's a better argument. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move
21.
on. This is the first debatable one. Age 21 years old. Who do you got?
I have Leo Carlson. I hated on him last pod, and I certainly am not a big fan of him right now after he shit on my Leafs. But that being said, I think he's still elite. Prior to his knee, I believe it was knee or hip injury, some form of lower body injury at the start of the year, he was cooking. Actually, I could be completely late to lunch. He may have broken his wrist. Anyway, he had some form of injury that kept him out like 2 months. From like December and January, and he came back in February, and he was up there with Celebrini being viewed as like the guy that was taking over the league. And I don't know, like I believe in that hype. I think that player is still in there. He got a little banged up, but like he still shows flashes of that on a nightly basis. I think come back next year with an even better team, an even further developed team, and an even further developed player. He's going to be truly, truly elite. But obviously, just even right now, I think he's still top end talent in the league.
I 100% agree. I really love his game. I think he's going to be a great guy for Anaheim, and obviously, you saw him just flying out of the gates this year. But we're going to disagree here. I think in terms of how valuable somebody is to the franchise, I'm going to take Jacob Fowler here at 21 years old. Obviously, one of the top rookie goalie prospects in the league, has come in late here in the season for Montreal and been really solid in net for them, something that they haven't had all year.
I get that, but I mean, Dobish has been elite. Fowler's the backup to Dobish, and he's played like 9 games. I don't know how you could argue that right now at 21 years old, if you were building a team, you would take him over Leo Carlson, who through 30 games was 3rd in the league in points.
Well, I'm not saying he's better than him at this point in time. I think the ceiling's there.
Are we not arguing who's the best player at each age in the league?
We're saying who's the most valuable to their team. Like if you were going to take a trade value.
Most valuable player at every age. I still think a number one center who's a number one center at 21 years old is more valuable than a goalie who's played 9 games. Like regardless of what you think, even of his value moving forward, we have so much tangible proof that Leo Carlson is an elite player and is a number one center. He's ridiculously good defensively. He is like borderline Selke caliber defensively with 100-point 50-goal offense on the other side. And he's doing that and has been doing that. He's point per game this year. And he's been doing that for not this good, but been very good the previous 2 seasons. And Fowler's played 9 games. Regardless of how you want to view it, best player right now or most trade value, there is no way you can argue a player who's played 9 games who wasn't a first-round pick is more valuable than a second overall pick who's elite on both ends and is above point per game.
I think I can argue it because after the draft, it doesn't matter where you were taken, really. Once you've proven that you have that talent level. And for
I get that, but when you played 9 games, where you're drafted has to have some tangible value because there's no other proof to say he's good. Okay, he cooked in college. Great. Leo Carlson cooks in the pros.
But he's seen by scouts throughout the league as being very talented as a goalie, and he's very young. And goalies, obviously, they take longer to develop than forwards. So, yes, he's not going to show it as much as Carlson right now. But I think we're sitting here 5 years down the line. Fowler could very well be like a top 5 goalie, and Carlson is not a top 5 center.
I think in 5 years' time, he's going to be a top 5 center. 100% in 5 years' time, he's going to be a top 5 center.
We'll have to wait to see whether that happens or not.
Because he's probably a top 10 center, maybe, if not that, top 12 for sure right now.
Well, I think that's debatable. I think that's very debatable.
I think you're underestimating how good he is. You can look it up right now, but like go look at his advanced numbers. Like he's an elite player on both ends.
Oh no, I understand he's an elite player.
And Fowler's backing up a rookie on his own team, dog. He's played 9 games. First of all, I don't actually know if he's played 9 games, so I'd just like to point out if he's backing up a rookie.
He's played 16 games.
I was going to say, I was about to say, I say 9, but I'm just making up a number in my head, but I know it's Smalley, but he's backing up a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, but he's also just much younger than Dobish is right now.
3 years.
Yeah, that's much younger for a goalie. Like 24, coming in at 24 as a goalie is much different than coming in at 21.
Well, actually, he was playing last year too. Played the whole year last year too.
Who? Fowler?
Dobish. No, Dobish. Or not the whole year because he's still a rookie. So I don't know how many games he played, but he played last year.
Fowler didn't play last year.
No, I was talking about Dobish, who's 24 and was 23 when he was playing.
Yeah.
In fact, he was 22, I think, when he was playing.
Like remove this like insane hot stretch that he's had down the end of the season here. Like Dobish was not that good. Through like goaltending was a huge issue for them leading up to the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And he has turned it around, but like he just like regardless of like who Dobish like what Dobish is doing right now, I don't think anybody in that organization.
I think if we're comparing him,
no Fowler is.
I get that, but like I just don't understand. I just don't think you should ever be able to win an argument by saying a player who's played 16 games is more valuable than a guy who's played over 100.
I mean, when Celebrini was fresh off of being a first,
I don't care. It's 16 games. Wayne Gretzky could play 16 games, and he's not more valuable than a guy who's played 100 because there's just not enough tangible proof. There's not enough tangible proof to say he's going to be this good. You're going off of hypotheticals that he's going to be good. You're going off scouts reports and the fact that he cooked against college kids. There's no proof in the pros that he's an elite goalie. Like obviously he has extraordinarily high expectations and he's come in and been pretty good, but I just don't understand how you like Leo Carlson was like if you look like in October, November was like the number 1 Hart Trophy candidate the entire time until he gets hurt. Like him and Celebrini were like 1-2 for the Hart and 1-2 in points until he got hurt.
He was cooking.
Like I'm not with that much tangible proof of him being like I'm not talking like most amongst under 25, most amongst under 22. Like I'm talking in the entire league through 30 games, he was second in the league in points. That alone, that 30 game stint alone is more proof than anything Fowler's done, and that alone should win the argument because there's nothing else you can compare that Fowler's done that should say he's more valuable than that as a number 1 center who's a lead on the defensive end.
I'd agree. Carlson is better right now. He's a better player at this moment in time, but I think value has to do with futures. And I
totally get, no, it does not. It also has to do with right now. Like right now.
I know, but I'm saying it also has to do with futures.
I get that. But what I'm saying is how can you believe totally you're believing in his future? Can I present to you 30 games of an MVP candidate that is proof that has happened in the pros this season? And he was a 2nd overall pick. That alone is like he has more expected value. They're the same age. He was a 2nd overall pick. Sure, whatever. Goalies go later. And once you're drafted, it doesn't matter. If you're the 2nd overall pick, you are viewed as the 2nd best player of all people your age when you get drafted. I think he's an 05. Like he was viewed as the 2nd best 05 in the entire planet 1 year ago. Like regardless of what you think about Fowler, there is no hypothetical value that is more valuable than Carlson. And Carlson's come in and played 30 games as an MVP candidate, and Fowler's played 16 as a backup.
Sure. Like we're gonna keep going in circles.
All right, I was actually about to be like, I'm done arguing. Like, I don't have anything else to say. Not like I'm done arguing, being like,
Okay.
I'm fucking leaving, pulling it on Hamilton. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Herbal.
Yeah.
But no, I think it totally has to do with what like will happen in the future. So I guess maybe we can say that Leo Carlsson has more value right now. But I don't know. I just think that come 5 years from now, we're going to be looking at Fowler as a top 5 goalie, and I think that's.
I feel like you're throwing away the fact that they're in the same draft class and Leo Carlsson went second overall. Like, you talk about hypothetical value, and I totally understand that. I totally get where you're coming from.
In their right mind, a goalie has never gone.
I get that, but I'm not talking about that. It has nothing to do with where Fowler went. It has literally nothing to do with where Fowler went, and everything to do with that he went second fucking overall.
Okay. So it does have to do.
When have it has nothing to do with where Fowler is being picked.
We're gonna keep going.
I get that, but I just think
saying, like,
there's no planet where a second overall pick and a goalie who's viewed as a generational goalie prospect. You can say he's viewed as the next Dominic Hasek. I don't fucking care. There is no way that you would say that is more valuable than the player who just went second overall.
Yeah, and we disagree there, and that's it.
Okay, fair. I don't know. I just think he should have more. Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
you outlined it well.
22.
Disagree. Yeah, 22. We all throw a different on this.
I get the future thing, but I'm just like, buddy, he's played 30 games as an MVP candidate.
It's fine.
You're holding no value.
I'm telling you, you outlined
in the first center. Okay.
I'm telling you, you outlined it really well. We just disagree.
Put in the comments that this is worse than the geeky over Raymond take. All right, 22. Who do you have?
I have Wyatt Johnson. And I really don't understand how you could have anybody else here. If I'm going to be honest, he's looked electric for Dallas. He's shown that he can be a goal scorer. He's taken over as the 1C over Rupe Hintz. I mean, Hintz has been hurt now, but he was even while Hintz was healthy. He took over the 1C role on a team that's just been a clear contender, and like they've continued to do so even without Hintz, as with Johnson as the 1C. And yeah, I think what he's been able to achieve over the last 2 years is just the progression we've seen from him entering the league to where he is now is just fun, like phenomenal.
Great argument. Can I counter you?
Okay.
With a defenseman who has 6 less points than him this year.
Okay.
On a worse team, like playing with worse line mates on a nightly basis.
Okay.
And who's 4th in his entire position in scoring and likely to be a candidate for the best player at his entire position. And he's 22 years old. And he's good, like a number 1 defenseman right now already. Totally. I get that Wyatt Johnson has been elite. I just don't know how you could take like a low-end 1C over one of the best defensemen in the entire league.
A low-end 1C, I feel like, is a little bit of a crazy take. Okay. First of all, name him. It's
Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson. I guess, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to actually say his name. But I have Lane Hudson. I just think, like, Wyatt Johnson's been good for sure, and maybe a low end once he was a bit of a diss. He has 41 goals and 80 points. Totally get he's a good player. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, Hudson is almost as good this year as a defenseman. And he's he's had less time in the league. I don't know why I'm getting so bitchy. It was the last arguments made me really bitchy. I was really trying to cut in more as like I'm owning it. I'm owning it. That's what I'm saying. The last one made me get like that. I was trying to more pitch it as just like my idea, but I just think he's by points the 4th best defenseman at his position. And obviously points and everything. But I just think when you're that valuable at your position, like Wyatt Johnson is not sniffing the top 10 most valuable forward. He's probably he's a top 10 center, but no, he's not top 10 most valuable forward. Come on. I'll give you top 10 center for sure, but he's not a top 10 forward. Hudson's a top 10 defenseman.
At the same time, you talk about valuing goal scoring, and he is just sitting there at 6 in goal scoring, and he's like for sure. I'm not denying that he's not an elite player. Whatever, like
I just think it's way more unprecedented for a defenseman to come in at 22 years old and be a Norris caliber defenseman than it is for a player to come in at 22 years old and be like an elite goal scorer and a great player in a 1C.
Sure, it might be more rare, but I think I'm still taking the 1C there. I think.
Fair. I just think that like Wyatt Johnson's going to be a good. He's going to be a great see. I think Lane Hutson's going to be
a big difference.
Pardon?
I said I think they're very comparable. Hudson changing his defensive aspect of his game has been a big help. I don't know. I mean, you talk about Montreal being a worse team than Dallas, and I disagree with that as well.
What? You think Dallas is worse than Montreal?
Dude, Montreal's been electric.
Buddy, go look at Montreal's after their first line. Go look at their team and go look at their points they have this year. Look at how many points Dallas has. I don't care. Dallas is more.
Not by a lot. They have 2 more points in as many games.
I just give me the team who's made the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row.
Okay, that's talking about history though, not currently this year.
I get that, but that still matters.
Look at
the second, third. This core is not even close to the same. Look at the second, third, and fourth line of that Montreal Canadiens team, and then look at the second, third, and fourth line of that Dallas Stars team when they get Hintz back. It's not even the same. Like Oliver Kapanen and Rupe Hintz, and I'm trying to think, Matt Duchene and Kirby Dach. That's just the second line. And like there's Jamie Benn in there. There's Josh Anderson in there. Great.
Who's he
Give me Miro over Lane. Give me Miro over Lane. Give me Ottinger over either goalie they have.
Okay, but that doesn't matter. Goalies don't matter for how you're producing as a player.
We're talking about who's a better team. I think we are splitting hairs between Hudson and Johnson. Like we're just trying to make the other one feel. I think that Canadians over the Stars take is absurd. You think that the Canadians are a better team than the Stars.
The East has been so much more competitive than the West. Like so much more competitive. Look at the teams that Dallas is getting to play. Dude, they're playing like Vancouver, Calgary. Like those are free points. Those are free points. And they get to play them more than the Canadians do.
Oh, your mic just went crazy there.
Sorry. They're getting to play them more than the Canadians do. The Canadians, like the bad teams that they're playing are like teams that are fighting to get into the playoffs, like Detroit, like Philly, like Washington. Like those are all teams that could be in it. Like Columbus.
I get that, but Dallas has been so far and away in the playoffs for so long that if they needed to, Hintz would already be playing. Rantanen would have come back multiple weeks before he needed to. They know that they don't need to get as many points as they need to, maximize the amount of points that they get in the regular season. There's a reason the President's Trophy winning team rarely wins the Cup, because the team who gets the most points in the regular season does not mean they're the best team in the league. It just means that they were likely the healthiest and most willing to just let their guys play every game and go out there. Dallas let Rantanen sit until he was 100% healthy, zero risk of re-injury. They're doing the same thing with Hintz. They've done that with Ben and Duchene earlier in the season and Ottinger earlier in the season. They don't give a rip about the regular season. They understand that they're going to have to play 2 juggernauts in the first 2 rounds, so they're making sure that come April 20th, every player on that team is as close to 100% as possible. They don't give a crap and have not given a crap about the regular season since about December. So I get all but Montreal has been life or death for the last 3 months in the regular season. So if they're playing different hockey, I get your point about they're close in points. But I think to say points, I'm not done. My final point was to say that their points in the regular season does not determine who's the better team. And I'm a Leaf fan. You are a professional Leafs hater. You should understand that.
If we're talking about the contents of the team, though, I simply am taking Suzuki and Caulfield over anybody on the Stars right now.
Over Rantanen and Johnson.
Yes. Caulfield is the Rocket leader, and Suzuki's top 10 in points, and is the Selke favorite.
Talk to me when either one of them have a 30-point playoff like Moose, or talk to me when either one of them have a 10-goal series like Johnson.
It could happen this year. They're very young players, so every year.
I actually think that. Sure. You're actually, no, I was going to be very disrespectful. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't know what else I could say to change your mind. Who do you got at 23?
Okay. Okay, we have the same player here.
I'm gonna go ask Guggen, by the way, and I'll videotape him, and he's going to laugh when I say that as well. By the way, a Habs fan, like a team who knows the Habs better than anyone on the planet.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I think that top line is just like anyway. We'll see in the playoffs. Yeah, my guy, age 23, is a defenseman who's been underrated outside of like in terms of like mainstream media talks. Shout out M-Bomb because he like low-key put me on game. But it's Jake Sanderson for Ottawa. He's stepped up in a big way when they've needed it with that decor being hurting so much. Just unreal. Like if there was a defenseman, like defensive defenseman of the league award, like he's likely getting it. His like advanced stats for like defensively on the PK and 5-on-5 are just nuts. And he's able to add to that with the points. Like obviously he's not the most productive guy, but I'm going to stat check myself here. Yeah, he's got 49 points in 64 games. That's still just that's number one defenseman production, and add in being one of the best defensive defensemen in the league. Like, actually, no, I'm not going to make that argument, but definitely I'd say a top 10 guy for the Norris, and I'd probably stick him right around.
Well, he won't. Yeah, he's not really a candidate because he's played like 6. He's played not, and he's not going to really return, I don't think, in the regular season. So like he's not played enough games to be a candidate. But yeah, I agree with you. I think, I mean, you just simply have to have more points than that to win a Norris. That's just been proven. You got to have above 70, I think, at this point. Yeah. So I think he's going to remain underrated in that aspect. But I agree. I have Jake Sanderson too. He was really the only competition was Nyes, and like Nyes is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but like Sanderson's an elite number 1. So it's a pretty clear argument there.
Agreed.
By the way, if that was a Bruin, and Tony would have tried to argue it, and Tony would have that name there, and he would have been making an argument.
No, I was thinking about if I could argue he's a top.
You would have.
No, I was trying to argue.
No, I'm saying if Nyes was a Bruin, you would have his name there trying to argue that he's more valuable than Sanderson. Yes, you would.
That's such cap.
You said Geeky over Raymond. Like I have until about July.
In the calendar,
I have proof that you are just objectively biased there. You even told me, don't even try to argue this because you've told me so many times you're like, oh yeah, that was a horrible argument. Like I should not have tried to make that. So don't come back here and try to defend yourself. The silence is deafening. Like, all right, who do you have at 24 years old?
All right, this is gonna be an interesting one. Actually, I'm interested to see this debate. I have Jack Hughes here at 24. I think when he's healthy and good to go, he's just capable of being like a top 5 center in the league. Like I think he's just capable of that. But the issue is obviously he's been injury prone as fuck. So this is where like it's hard. This is where it gets hard for me because like I know the other name here that you're gonna bring up. But I don't know. If we think about history, if we think about like potential contribution to a team, like Jack Hughes when New Jersey was contending was almost like I'd say he's like equally valuable to his team. Actually, no, yeah, Bratt was having a nasty season as well, but he was just him and Bratt were carrying that team when they were contending, and I don't know when he's hurt, that team just becomes like a lottery team. So. Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's like they've been a lottery team when he's played a decent amount of games too. So they, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true. They've made the playoffs one time in his tenure on the Devils. So it's hard to necessarily argue that, given that he's only not been a lottery team once. But the guy I have is Matt Boldy. I think if you had told me this at the start of the year to be making this argument, I would have called you insane. But I think the explosion in production that we've seen from Boldy, specifically in the goal scoring department, he has 41 goals in 73 games this year, is elite. I think he's like he's taken over as I think he has more points than Kaprizov. Like I think he is the Wild's best player in terms of pure points right now. So like that's just. Yeah, he's been on a
sorry. I lost my train of thought there. He's been cooking as well in the playoffs. I mean, the first 2 times he made it, he was like 20 and 21. So that's tough to really compare. But last year when he made it, he was above point per game in the first round, had 5 goals in 6 games. He's done in the playoffs. And also a sneaky underrated fact. If you go look at Hughes' stats, now granted, he's missed about 15 games, a little more, give or take, in those years. But outside of the 99-point season when he made the playoffs, Boldy has more points than him. Like he has 81 this year and 73.
He plays every year.
I get that, but like you still
after the 99-point season, which first of all, I'm going to go back to the point of like missing the playoffs versus not. Like, yes, they've missed the playoffs with him like in other seasons, but he's literally missed 20 or more games in every single season.
How can you? Okay, sure. Right now, you look at the fact that he has 61, 56, 49, 78, 62, 62, 56. Those are his games played in the year in the NHL. You can't argue to me that you're getting more than 65 of him on a yearly basis. You go look at Matt Boldy, you're 81, 75, 82, 73. You are getting 75 plus games out of Matt Boldy. You're going to argue that like the point production there from Hughes is probably better than Boldy on a per game basis.
Let me make the argument.
I'm not done. You're just trying to jump in and argue and just say your point when I'm not even done.
Well, yeah, because you've been talking for the majority of the time.
Okay, sure. Go make your argument because you already interjected. So say what you want to say.
Well, my argument is that those, like, you can't act like those injuries were just injury-prone injuries. Like, first of all, he had like
two he falls into the boards and he dislocates his shoulder and he's 4 to 6. Like he literally, like I see Matthews take that fall 10 times like and he's considered injury-prone.
He cut his thumb and missed like 10 games. Like that's not an injury-prone injury. Like that's just being stupid. But
it gets to a point.
If you look at what he's doing in those games, like 74 points in 62 games, 70 and 62, 72 and 56. Like that's insane point pace. That's like 100 point pace every single year there.
For sure. But like Boldy he is improved every year. He has more points than him this year. He plays every year and he's going to have a higher single season goal total than Hughes will at the end of this season.
Let's look at point per game though.
For sure. But like the fact that Hughes plays 62 dog is a negative. And he's been in the league since 2019. Like there is so much proof that he just will not give you 75 plus. Like you were expecting 70 at best out of him in a season and hoping for anything better.
You could say the same about early Sidney Crosby, man. He missed a lot of time with injuries early in his career and he finally figured it out in about year 7.
I get that, but the way Boldy's projecting and the way he's just improving every single year, I think Boldy's going to be like an 115-point guy. And I think Hughes will have a few 115-point seasons in there. But I think there's going to be so much inconsistency that Boldy, even when he is an off year, it'll be 93. Hughes will play 45 games, have 55, 60 points. But like on a just total point basis, like Boldy's going to have more. And like, that's always an argument of like the potential and like when he played, when like always, there's so many what ifs in sports, but there's way too much concern around Hughes for me to believe that his projected long-term value is better than a guy who's showing he could score 60.
Yeah. I think it's going to come back to an argument of injury, like every time here with Hughes. But I think if I'm looking at value, I'm looking at like when the guy's on the ice, what can he give me? And I think Jack Hughes is just a better player when he's healthy on the ice than Bill Hughes.
Fair.
All right.
Team USA didn't think so, but sorry, I just had to get the last point in there.
Yeah, I figured. All right, let's go to 25. Who do you have as your first year 25-year-old?
The first guy that I have for 25 is Rasmus Dahlin. Very similar reason. The first guy, the only guy.
Yeah,
very similar argument to that of the Lane Hudson one. In that I'm a big fan of getting that stud number 1. Like no team wins the cup without that stud number 1. You can win without a stud number 1 at any other position. Like you have to have studs elsewhere, obviously, but like there's not any team in the recent history that without an elite number 1 has won the cup. So for that reason, give me one of the game's best. And Rasmus Dahlin, I think as the captain of the Sabres, he's proven that 1, he's loyal and is willing to work through shit because he's on Buffalo and has stayed on Buffalo his whole career. And 2, like he's rallied the troops. He's got them to where they need to be. He's clearly a good leader in that room. He was a leader on Team Sweden. And I just think that a 25-year-old elite number 1 who has potential to score a hat trick on a nightly basis, as I watched him have a 5-point game against the Leafs this year, and is elite defensively, power plays it, and captains his team at 25. Like that's my guy.
Yeah, I like that. I like Dahlin. I think he's also one of those guys who's a top 10 defenseman in the league. I think that.
Oh, he's top 5. He's top 5.
Okay, well, that's an argument for another day. But I would say I'm going to take Cole Caulfield, the deserving Rocket winner for this year.
Agreed. You're talking the guy who bet him, not Kaprizov.
I know, which is why I was low-key surprised that you didn't take him here. But yeah, 49 goals, 85 points.
I have my argument queued up, but sorry, keep going.
76 games. No, I don't. I have no clue where you're going to come at me from, but he's just been such an important part of this Canadiens team, and I'd argue that he's been more valuable to the Canadiens this year than Dahlin has to the Sabres. Sabres have had they just have a juiced decor, and you've talked about the lack of depth in Montreal, but the thing that's been getting it done is Mr. Saturday Night with Suzuki, and Suzuki's not producing to the level he has without Caulfield on his wing. So,
for sure, my counter argument to that is twofold. One, give me a number one defenseman over a winger any day of the week. Any day of the week. A borderline top 5 defenseman right now over any winger. Hall of Fame, best winger, one of the best wingers ever. Give me the top 5 defenseman over that player anytime.
Interesting.
Because I think in terms of positional value, that number one defenseman, especially they. Now, granted, I would say Hudson. This hurts my previous arguing over Johnson, but he is one of those guys, one of the few where I'm like, you need to be really good at defense or 100-point potential on offense for that's the only way you can counteract not having good defense. And Dahlin's great defensively, which is why I'm very high on him as well. Caulfield is unbelievable this year for sure, but he's been if you look at every other season other than this year, he's been projecting out to be a 45 goal, 80-point best season. Obviously, you can't discredit what he's done this season. I'm not trying to argue that, but there is as good a chance that he goes back to what his career was trajecting to next year as there is that he stays the same or progresses. I would say there's a 33% chance for each that he has this season again is better or is worse. And I think there's an 100% chance that Dahlin is a top 10 defenseman again next year. And I just think there's too much question marks around Caulfield, and he's been so explosive this year and just so much better than anything he's done. And obviously he was a 15th overall pick, good player, high expectations, but 1 year out of him is not enough to take away from a guy who's been a top 10 defenseman for the last 2 to 3 years and is going to be for many years going forward.
Well, I think my counter to that is that I don't
1
think
to 2 years for Dahlin.
I don't think we can make projections like that. I don't think you can project, Caulfield's just had his best year of his career, and then now let's just say he's going to be worse. I could say outside of the last 2 years, Dahlin he had a 73-point year in there.
And then a 53-point before that.
Yeah, 53 is all right. 53 is bottom end first.
That was in his 3rd year. We're going back that far before you can chirp how good he's been.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Caulfield's been a 70-point guy every year of his career. For
sure. But Dahlin's been a 17 to 20 goal, 60 to 70 point guy for 4 years in a row. I get that. But you're counteracting your Fowler argument then of the future is very valuable. Obviously, we're getting a little older here, so the future does not necessarily it's not as valuable as a 21-year-old.
I don't think that.
But what I'm saying is you say you can't make projections, and what projections are you making about Fowler? Obviously, they have to be some form of.
How you feel about the player. Projecting that somebody's going to fall off next year as a 25-year-old.
I feel like I made I didn't. Oh my gosh, I didn't say he was going to fall off, dude. He's going to put up 100 points and 55 goals. There's not that many players on the planet who can do that year over year. Look at Matthews. Look at even Crosby. On a year-to-year basis, it is hard to be that good over and over and over and over again. So to say that he's going to regress back to a 75.40 goal scorer, that's not even that's still a great first-line player. My point is that you know what you're getting at a Dahlin next year, and I think Caulfield has not been, this wouldn't even be a remote argument until this year for Dahlin Caulfield, and I think it's a very, very close argument right now. And I think give me the guy with a better pedigree who I'm more confident is going to just come out and be elite next year than the guy who I don't necessarily know. That's how I feel. And I think defensemen are way more valuable than any winger.
I mean, if you're going to make that argument, that kind of counteracts the Boldy Hughes argument, because if we're discounting this year from Boldy, then
no, but I'm saying I'm projecting him to continue to grow Boldy, and also he's going to play every game or almost every game, and I'm so confident, dude, that Hughes is never touching 80 games played in a year.
Okay, well, I'll then say, like, I'm projecting Cole Caulfield to be in the Rocket race every
For
year.
sure. That's totally fair. I've never said you couldn't make that argument.
Okay. Well, that's what I'll say, because I think, like, Mr. Saturday Night, if he figures out how to do that on nights that aren't Saturday, is just going to be unstoppable. And the ceiling is unlimited here. Like, we're talking, like, this is the guy that you see what he can do on any given night. Like, this is a guy who can score 60. So I think that there's just untapped potential there. And I think to discount that is
I'm not discounting that. I just don't ever think we're going to say that Caulfield's top 5 forward. And I think Dahlin's top 5 defenseman right now.
Okay.
And he still is only 25. Like, he's very much going to be better than this, too.
Okay. All right. Let's go to 26.
All right, 26, keeping my argument consistent. I got Quinn Hughes. Give me the elite number 1 defenseman. Now, this is a little bit different than Dahlin because he's not as good defensively, but he's got that 100-point potential, which is not going to lie why I mentioned that last argument. But he's won a Norris. He's one of the best. He's the best. He's been considered the best defenseman on the planet. And he's only 26 years old. I think that's more valuable. Unless there's Connor McDavid out there at 26, I think that's more valuable than any winger, any center at his age, any goalie at his age. I think give me the guy who's won awards. Give me a guy who's won divisions. Give me a guy who's captained teams. Give me a guy who's been got an assist on the golden goal. Was the guy that scored the semifinals OT winner. Like he played like the first 3 minutes of overtime for the US. Like they wouldn't let him come off the ice. They're like, stay. And then he scored the winner against Finland. Like that guy's just simply one of the best hockey players on the entire planet. And give me him over anyone. Not anyone, but at 26, anyone.
Okay. I agree. Quinn Hughes, phenomenal defenseman, definitely top 3 defenseman in the league at probably any point over the last 3 years. The guy I'm going to put forward, I'm going to put his name in the hat, is Jason Robertson, a guy who's capable of Selke play. He's been to back 3 Western Conference Finals with Dallas, as you made that point before. He's been a key part of that team.
The best player on any of those teams.
I'd argue he was when in the playoffs. Like
Mikko was better last year.
Okay,
Mikko was their best player last year. Miro was better the year before, and couldn't tell you the year before that. But I know for a fact that those two were fucking dogs those 2 years.
Like in the playoffs, he was putting up ridiculous numbers. Like he was going point per game in the playoffs.
So was Heiskanen and Rantanen, and that's what I'm saying. But anyway, that's not important. Sorry. I'm hijacking your argument.
2022-23, he was a 110-point player, Jason Robertson. He's Selke level defensively. Like he's definitely a guy that could over his career win a Selke. And yeah, he's playing on the first line of that Dallas team that's been really hurt recently and also just been producing at an insane level.
For sure. He's an elite player for sure, but he's a 40-goal, 90-point guy. And like, give me the 90-point defenseman who's won Norris's over that personally. But what?
I'm pulling up stats.
He's
got 90 points once in his career, and aside from that, like
he had 76 and 68, and this year he has 74, and I'm not doing 26. What 71?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he's been like a point per game defenseman base. But I think you're highlighting it's just you're skewing it by highlighting different. You're calling him a 90-point defenseman, whereas Robertson's actually putting up 90 points every year.
Sure, he's a 75-point he's an above point per game defenseman who's won a Norris, and Robertson. Yeah. Sure, if Robo had continued that 109-point expectation, but he's gone since then 29, 35, 40 goals, 80, 89 points. Like that's too much proof for me that that's what he is to take him over a guy who's already won individual awards.
No, that's fair.
Like give me, or is considered the best defenseman in the entire planet in a season.
Yeah.
Continuing on to number 27, I'm going to take another Norris winner, Cale Makar. I think this year there was much less competition around 27. We did this a few hours ago, so I can't exactly remember, but there was not as much competition around this as actually previous years. And it started to get a little bit easier moving forward. Part of it is we're getting into like the elite players where it's just there are no doubters. But yeah, I mean, Makar is best defenseman on the planet. And yeah, he's won Vault 2.
Did you just call him the best player in the planet?
Defenseman.
Oh.
Like just in general. This year, I don't think so. I think Werenski should win it. But just if you were to rank defenseman, you would have him one.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I was I thought you said best player on the planet, and I was like, whoa, that's a take.
No. If you sold the Olympics for Canada, dog, I ain't giving that kind of respect.
Okay. I also have him here at 27. I mean, I feel like part of this range is like 27 through 30 is like
that's players in their prime.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like you have to be elite to still be like a top player as you go.
Yeah, and also it gets you after like 32 or 33, it was really easy because it was like low end guys who have like a value for a specific team, and then like one guy or two guys. Like it was very easy after that. But anyway, I feel like you don't get anything to add. Yeah.
No, there's nothing to add. He's just like up there for like a top 10 defenseman all time.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm changing my number 28. I disagree with what I have here. I have
Kaprizov. I didn't know we could do that. I would have changed off of Jason Robertson. That was awful to sit through. That was awful.
Okay, but you could have come out and said that. I'm not saying I'm changing it, but I have Kirill Kaprizov at 28. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a 100-point player. This is a guy who could very much win an MVP in a year. And I think last year, if he didn't get hurt, would have won it. Because that first 60 games where I think he had like 90 points in the first 60 games, he was unbelievably good last year. But anyway, yeah, he's elite, but I prefer the guy Antonio was gonna say, but he's a great player. He's gonna go down as like one of the top 50, top 60 point scorers. I assume if he stays healthy and plays into his late 30s, he's gonna be elite. He's really, really good, but on to you, Antonio.
Yeah, so much like I think Quinn Hughes here, I think there is a sub 20 list of NHL players currently in the league that this team would trade this guy for. It's Zach Werenski. I think he's like literally, if you think of the Columbus core,
I think he should win the Norris.
Zach Werenski. Well, I think he should win the Norris. I think if they make the playoffs, I think he should be a Hart candidate.
Okay, I agree. I don't think he should be a finalist, but I think he should be in the conversation. Also, for the record, I was way off. He only had played 41 games last year, but he had 56 points in those 41 games. He had 90 points the year before that. But I just wanted to correct myself because if we post that as a clip, someone was going to come at me, so I feel the need to defend myself.
Yeah, but like much like the Quinn Hughes, Jason Robertson, like I have like Quinn Hughes is just more like valuable to his team at this point in time than Jason Robertson. I wasn't trying to die on that hill. That's why I was very quiet. I didn't know we could change. Or I guess say that we're changing. So
you can just own that you made the wrong choice. That's
okay. But yeah, Zach Werenski I believe is deserving of the Norris this year based on his play on both sides of the ice. Like he's the number one playmaker for Columbus, and he's also the best defensive defenseman for their team. Anytime you need something on the ice, like it's just Zach Werenski. And I feel like if you watch the game, he passes the eye test, he passes the advanced statistics test. I'm going to glaze the fuck out of him right now because I've been wanting to talk about him for a while. I feel like we haven't touched on it enough. So there's guys like Bouchard out there, but like they're just not. He's not like Bouchard isn't as dominant on both sides of the ice as Werenski has been this season. Obviously, smaller sample size than we have for many defensemen in the league, which is why you can't really argue him over a guy like Quinn Hughes or a guy like Cale Makar, like for like overall value. But I think after those two, going forward, Werenski's got the next most value.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything Antonio said. I think he's been elite. I don't know if I'd go as far to say as he would be like a necessary Hart finalist, which I'm not necessarily saying you said, but I think his name should be floated around there. Like he should get some votes on the ballot. I think they do top 5, so he should get some.
Yeah.
But yeah, I simply made the wrong choice. All right, these next two are really easy, and we're not really going to talk about it. I know, but the other one deserves a little bit of talking about. Anyway, 29 is Connor McDavid, best player in the world. Pretty simple. 28 is Nathan McKinnon, second best player in the world. Pretty
30,
simple.
Sorry, 30.
30. Yeah, sorry, I went down. Yeah, 29 McDavid, 30 McKinnon. Then 31, we both have Andrei Vasilevsky. This was a pretty, this year was just not that good. The 2013 draft class was clearly not that good, based on the fact that there was not that many players who are really there in competition with Vasilevsky. I mean, he's won a Vezina, he's won multiple cups. Like he's one of the best goalies. One of the best goalies right now, has been for a while. So
like one of the best goalies all time. End of his career, probably a top 10 goalie.
Did want to touch on that because, to just say Vasilevsky, if you didn't necessarily weren't looking at the ages of players, would not necessarily assume he'd be a runaway. That's the only reason I wanted to stop there.
Oh, okay.
32, Nikita Kucherov, the third best player on the planet right now. Pretty simple. We're getting into the players where it's what can you do for me right now, and that's about it because you're pretty old. Third best player on the planet, and really no other competition needed. All right, on to number 33, Mr. Kapos. Who do you have?
This one's interesting again. Here's my argument. Okay, sure.
Yep.
I have Mark Stone. This is a guy known as one of the best defensive wingers in the league for a long time now. Been the cornerstone of that Vegas team forever. He's a Stanley Cup winner. He's the captain of a Stanley Cup winning team. And he's capable of putting up point per game as probably the best defensive winger in the league. And I think that's the argument there. I think that's...
I don't know about best defensive winger in the league, but definitely top 5. I feel like Reinhardt's better personally. He's been the
now. If you go 4 years ago, it was Mark Stone.
Okay.
It just has been Mark Stone.
Cool.
Very much.
But we're talking about 33-year-old Mark Stone, not 29-year-old Mark Stone.
Okay, that's true. That's also true.
But I'm not dissing the defensive best, good defensive argument. Just saying he's not that good. The guy that I have is Mark Scheifele. Again, I if it's not clear here, I am a big fan of positional value. I do think that holds not necessarily a lot, but holds enough weight to be mentioned, which is why, again, taking a center here over the winger. But Mark Scheifele is a guy that I think is low key one of the more underrated players in the league. He just is right around point per game every single season since 2016-17. He's literally been right around, just below, just above, 82 and 79, 60 and 60, 84 and 82, 73 and 71, 63 and 56, 70 and 67, 68 and 81, 72 and 74, 87 and 82, 94 and 76 this year. No, don't get me wrong. Stone always has great point paces, but his totals never get up there. Scheifele's 94 points this year on a Jets team that's been pretty bad is really good. He's not getting a lot of support. It's him and Connor and friends. And Velarde's pretty good, but it's him and Connor and nobody else really. And so the fact he has 94 points is insane. He's an absolute dog, and give me him over Stone.
Yeah. I mean, I think these guys are kind of two similar guys. Obviously, Scheifele's a little bit more offensively capable, and he's got that positional value. But Stone, I just think for what he can bring, the point differential in terms of point per game, not that different there. And also, obviously, a much better defensive player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it comes down to what if you're going to value.
I also think they're 33 and one guy is 94, and I don't know how many the other guy has, but it's not 94.
He's got 67 and 55.
I know.
Yeah, so it's not that many. Point per game wise, that's disgusting.
I get that, but 94 and 76 is equally as good.
Yeah, I think if you go by the stats, that's just basically the same point per game. But obviously,
I know, but give me the guy who's played more games and has 94 points.
Yeah, but again, I think again, this can be another argument of what?
No.
Yeah, sorry, I was getting caught of when the guy's on the ice. Obviously, Stone's not been on the ice as much. This is going back to the same argument as Hughes. When he's on the ice, I think he's more valuable. Give me him. All right, moving on. number 34, we have together is Artemi Panarin. I think this is another case of like there just wasn't many other people at 34.
And I also think a little agreed, but I think a little bit to note here on Panarin is I think like he gets like the whole leaving New York situation was weird. New York was really bad. He went out to LA, which means he's out west, so he's not seen as much by the Eastern Conference, like national media. I think Panarin's a little underrated. Like I think Panarin, if you were to tell me that Panarin has 95 points next year, I wouldn't be surprised. I think in LA, if Byfield can have a good summer, or they trade for Matthews, something insane like that. And now obviously that would, of course, dramatically change your outlook on Panarin. But like if Byfield can develop and he gets a consistent run with like Kempe, Byfield, him on that first line, I like he could very easily have 95 points next year. Like I think he's that good offensively still. And I think he's become a little bit underrated. So I just want to give him some love. Yep, and the Kings fleeced your ass, New York. All right. Moving on for number 35. Or not number 35, for age 35, I have John Tavares, the ageless wonder. I mean, the guy just scores goals, man. Like he's gotten red hot here for Toronto as of late. But every year, like he just same thing, same argument as Scheifele. Like he's never significantly above it, but he's always right around point per game, 30 to 40 goals. You know what you're going to get from him. He's one of the best guys every single year in the draw. Like he's top 3, I think, like the last 5 years. And he just simply is still a second line center. I think this is actually going to be a really interesting argument. And both of them have actually been absolutely on fire recently. But I think I know who you're going to argue, so this is going to change how I'm saying this. But I think I like the consistency and safeness that Tavares provides me, knowing that I'm going to get like, at worst, I'm going to get a 0.0 WAR game out of John Tavares. I think that at 35, knowing that it may be even more because he's going to go out and win draws at absolute worst case scenario on a nightly basis. And so I think he has a role that he's going to fill that is very important every game. And he's a 70.35 goal scorer every year.
Yeah, that's fair. The guy I'm going to bring up is a guy that is the opposite of consistent, but when he's hot, man, is he hot. Like, man, is this guy ever hot when he's hot, and it's Erik Karlsson. This is a guy that when early in his career looked like he was going to be a top 5 defenseman all time. Like he was like compared to Connor McDavid, he was that good. Like when he was in the first 5 years of his career, like he was just absolutely.
No. Connor McDavid was compared to him in 2016, 17. Like that's how good he was.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. I actually got to see this guy live before he got injured. I went to an Edmonton Ottawa game, and it was actually when, like, I think it was like 2 games before he got his like ankle snapped by fucking whatever the guy's. Yeah,
Achilles. Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, he was magical. He was like Nikita Kucherov but playing defense. That's like the type of comparison I'll draw. Obviously, not really seen that level of play out of him. Like he had the 100-point season in San Jose. Obviously, he's not the same player that like we were comparing to McDavid from back in the day. Obviously, he's also just a lot older now. But we've seen down the stretch here, like he's looking like a top 5 defenseman in the league right now over the last like 20 games. Like he's just capable of that type of play. And to have that out of somebody who's 35 years old is just unreal. I don't think Tavares can give you that high-end value, but at the same time, like it's not consistent out of Erik Karlsson. So I think he can really go either way here.
Fair. Yeah, I just think the center who's going to be a 2C going to win 58% of his draws and is going to score you 35 goals, both on the power play and and can play great on the power play and is great in front of the net. I just think that Tavares provides so much at like a very good level, not elite, that I think it's more valuable than the riskiness of Karlsson. But I think this is one of the more interesting arguments because it's less. I mean, it's not potential based whatsoever. It's like, what are you giving me right now? And I think that's a good discussion because you're not really talking about a number 1 defenseman. Like you're talking about a defenseman who provides you offense only. So interesting comp. All right. Really the last interesting one. And then the rest were pretty straightforward after this.
Yeah.
Who do you have at 36 years old?
I have Steven Stamkos. Obviously used to be the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Actually, I'm going to pull up his stats right now just so I'm not speaking out of my ass. This is the guy who just is 2 seasons removed from a 40-goal season. He has 38 goals this year. Like, like 38 goals, 60 points in 76 games as a 36-year-old on a team that's been struggling to even make the playoffs. He's still got that wicked shot. Obviously, last year was a rough look for him, like worst season of his career. But outside of that, like if you ignore last season, he's been just consistently a guy that can get you 35 to 40 goals a year, around 70 points, and is just capable of driving that offense. I'm not going to speak to his defense, but very capable of driving that offense. And obviously he's a 2-time cup winner with Tampa.
Yeah, I think that's a good argument. The guy I have is John Carlson, and I think that's because he's still a top pairing defenseman. He's the best. I think he's one of the best Robins in the entire league, and I think Anaheim pairing him with Lacombe as the Batman is one of the best situations you could have ended up in, I think. And, I mean, he's feasted in Anaheim for a reason. I think we're at 36-year-olds. Like, I don't give a rat's ass, including Stamkos' dog shit year last year. I don't give a rat's ass what you've done any previous year. For this year, I think John Carlson is a top pairing defenseman on a cup contending team. And I think Stamkos is on a team that's going to miss the playoffs as one of the highest paid guys. And I think there's a reason for that. And I mean, he's been good, but I just think in terms of valuableness and what you can do to contribute to winning right now, John Carlson provides more.
Okay. Like that's a very fair argument.
He's like 50, 60 point. Sorry, I didn't really say much about him, but he's like a 50, 60 point defenseman as of recently. He's been up into the 70s twice. And he's had a few seasons with bad injury, but I mean, yeah, he's elite offensively and he's got a booming shot from the point, and he's got one of the goofiest styles because he only has an ear guard on one ear. Because he injured his ear.
Like, of course, you're going to know that as an equipment.
2022. He injured his ear in 2022, and he just has the ear guard on the one ear that he injured, and that's it.
You're goofy. You're goofy.
I am a Carlson.
Carlson. I'm talking about.
Okay, good.
But you're also goofy for knowing that.
I saw a TikTok about what players still wear ear guards, and it was like Malkin, Carlson has it in one ear, and Aho, and someone else. Like there was like no one who does it. That's why they can make a video on it.
I'd hate it. It's like a scrum cap. You just can't hear, dude. I don't like it.
Yep. Well, they were mandatory in minor hockey, so I had to wear them.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I don't know. I like Carlson. I also like Stamkos. I think if Nashville does make the playoffs, I think Stamkos can be a big reason why, and he's been hot down the stretch here. I think you go either way. Like, I think Stamkos on that team is like a 2C.
Yeah.
Anyway,
for sure.
Let's keep rolling.
The next 3-4, we're just going to list because this was for these guys. There was literally only this guy at this age who was good, and there was not even another comparison. So for 37-year-old, we have Brad Marchand, still a point per game guy, just an absolute horse. That's simple. For 38, we got Sidney Crosby, one of the best players on the planet. Still, I feel like doesn't really need much else of an argument. 39, we have Evgeny Malkin, again, a guy who's still. He's 39 years old and he's pushing point per game. So he's, again, a very elite center.
Second best 2C of all time, by the way.
Behind who? Messier?
Yeah.
Are you calling Messier too? Well, he went into New York and won a cup as a 1. So I don't know if you can call him a 2.
He was the 2C for Gretzky. That just is by.
I guess. But Malkin's anyway. That's not an important argument to make. And for 40, we have the best goal scorer of all time, Alex Ovechkin. For 40 plus, I guess, category. I think the only other guy who was playing still 40 plus was Brent Burns. And just give me Ovechkin.
Agreed. Oh, well.
All right. So that concludes our young and old. And as we head to here, the second hockey segment, if you guys were here for the last episode, we did quiz naming. I'm trying to remember. The Sporcle quiz, what was it? We named the top
calendar year
getters in each calendar year from 2020 to 2025. We completed it. We nailed it. This time we're upping the stakes. We are taking the top categorical leaders in the 2020s. So like goals, points, assists, plus minus, defenseman points, rookie points can't be there, but maybe rookie seasons. I actually don't know all the categories, but like all the general box score stats that are tracked, who has the most in the 2020s decade? Ken Capone, I do it.
All right. And you see here, I was just showing the title. It is NHL Stat Leaders 2020s by Rossi17. If you guys want to try it yourself, I think a clip of this will be posted in our Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Pucks. Feel like that's a good time to link it. I was going to point here, but it's not there. You'll see it at the end of the episode.
YouTube and Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Pucks or TikTok at FHP_pod. Check it out. Clips on both YouTube and TikTok of the episodes, and tons more content as well as the clips on Instagram. So check all three of those out. Let's get this thing started.
If you're listening to the podcast, this is just simply more enjoyable if you're watching along. So would recommend you check out the YouTube.
Check out the YouTube. Agreed.
All right, let's get her started. 3, 2, 1. Games played. I feel like we got to start with points, right?
Oh yeah, I agree. So points first, Edmonton. I'm McDavid, and then I'm assuming Draisaitl, given that's Edmonton again. Colorado, McKinnon. Tampa, Cooch. Boston, Pasta.
Yeah.
I mean, Colorado, Carolina, Dallas, pretty easy. Rantanen. New York, LA, pretty easy.
Whoa, I didn't know he was
Vegas.
that high, dude.
Toronto, Vegas, pretty easy, dude. He's got 100. He had 100 points at least once in New York. Toronto, that's Matthews, and okay, delayed there, Crosby. All right, McCarr, Hughes, Rangers. That's Fox. Yossi, that's not Yossi. Nashville, that's Yossi. Tampa, that's Hedman. Buffalo, that's Dahlin. Winnipeg, that's Morrissey. San Jose, Pittsburgh, Carolina. It's Morrissey. Morrissey.
Why can I not spell Morrissey? Okay, there we go. 2 S's.
San Jose, Pittsburgh, that's Carlson. Edmonton, that's Bushbaum. And Washington, Anaheim, that's John Carlson.
Yeah, and that was defenseman points that we just cranked out right there.
Yeah.
All right, do we okay, goals I feel like is next.
Yeah, so we already got Matthews, Draisaitl, Pasta, McDavid, Minnesota, Kaprizov, Washington, Ovi, Buffalo,
Ovi's far down that list. I don't know why I expected him to be like top 5 at least.
The fact that Rhino's right there. Now that's Reinhardt.
If I can spell his name.
And Kyle Connor.
Yeah, that's you. That's you. Games played, I feel like it's gonna be hard. Do we want to do plus minus first?
It's kind of equally hard. Probably Devon Taves, I would guess.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. Yep.
Florida. I don't think he's. Oh, okay. I don't think. Wow, I would not have guessed that Brady had the most penalty minutes since 2020.
I know who 2 is.
Plus 159 for Florida. Forsling.
Maybe Ekblad.
Forsling. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Edmonton, Nashville. That's Ekholm. That's Ekholm. Carolina. That's got to be Slavin. Dallas. That's got to be Miro. And
I'm going
Calgary, Dallas, Toronto. That's my boy. Well, not my boy, but Chris Tanev.
It's not Heiskanen.
Oh, Lindell probably then would be my guess.
No,
it's not Lindell either. Harley,
Robertson.
Oh, I guess it could be a forward. I just always assume Harley.
Nope.
Robert Hintz.
Ew.
And Tanev.
I was confused there.
Tampa, Nashville. That's for power play goals. Let's keep going. Stamkos.
Yep.
New York, Anaheim. What? Oh, Chris Kreider. Chris Kreider. Ooh. Yeah, he's nasty on the power play. EI.
Thank you.
Rangers again.
There.
Yeah, seriously, that's normally you. Rangers again. Yeah, Zib. That's a good call. Yep. Tampa Bay. Probably Point.
Yes, 100% is. I'm not.
And DeBrincat. Chicago, Ottawa, Detroit. That's DeBrincat. All right, short-handed goals. Montreal, LA. That's Dano.
I feel like we're not going to get that.
No, that's Dano. Because multiple teams just makes it way easier. Like Montreal, LA. That's Dano.
Okay.
Toronto, LA. I don't think you spelled it right because there's like no one else who would have played on Toronto. Oh no, Armia, maybe. Armia fits that bill too.
Ooh, what a pull! What a pull by Benjamin Rutledge, folks.
That's probably Trevor Moore, Toronto and LA.
Yeah, leave it to the guy who knows.
Tampa and Calgary. That's Blake Coleman. All right, I'm him.
You are him. That's just
Should I go grab grass right now or what?
I think you need to. Okay, let's go games played.
Bring it back on the
Let's go
pod.
games played.
Montreal.
Is that? Oh,
He's only Matheson. Like I'm trying to think. That's what I was gonna say. Like trying to think. Weber.
Suzuki.
When was it made?
Hey.
Damn.
I just broke my
San
chair.
Jose, Carolina, San Jose, Colorado. Oh, yo, that the player doesn't actually
Leashes?
come immediately to mind.
All right.
San Jose, Carolina, Colorado. I actually can't think of who immediately comes to mind who's played on all three of those teams. Not gonna lie. Okay, let's just keep going. Okay, Philadelphia, Columbus. That's Provorov.
Where?
The 437. Philadelphia and
Provorov.
Columbus. That's Provorov. Philly, maybe Cam York. Oh, Risto. It's actually 100% Ristolainen. No, it's 100% Ristolainen. Damn, it's not. Florida, Calgary, Utah. It's Uyghur.
Wait.
No, what, dude? He's been injured. No, that's a horrible pull. I can't lie. He missed like 2 straight years due to injury. Carolina, Nashville. That's Halla, I think. Oh no, he's no.
No, we see what have Boston in there.
Oh, Skay. That's Brady Skay, and then also Uyghur's above him. It's J. J's first. Like SK, yeah, and then Uyghur.
All right, I feel like we switched categories. I feel like we come back.
I agree. That's Edmonton, Seattle's Adam Larson. Edmonton, Seattle's Adam Larson. Yeah.
We got it.
All right. Colorado, Arizona, Utah. That's Alex Kerfoot. No, he played in Toronto. Oh, he's a goon. He's a goon. What was that Kerfoot pull? I wasn't even looking at the category, bro.
Dude, who is this Boston guy? I'm tripping.
Maroon.
Tampa? No, it's
Maroon. It's Maroon.
I
Oh,
was talking about the other guy.
the 501's Maroon. No, 1R.
Can't spell it. Yeah, we're good. That's gonna be Gudas. Yeah. How are we doing on time? We're doing good on time, actually. Let us cook.
Florida, Calgary, and then Calgary, Florida at the bottom. Who is in? I'm trying to think of like goons in that trade. Kachuk.
No,
I mean, Kachuk. Oh no, actually, we've already put in Kachuk, so yeah, it can't be him. AJ Greer is one of those two, 100%. Oh, he's not.
No,
because I guess he played on Boston too.
Who's been on Minnesota this whole time? Oh, Trennan?
No, he played on Nashville.
But he was
he's
somewhere.
on that somewhere.
Probably for penalty minutes.
Okay, let's scroll down from penalty minutes.
I mean, for hits, probably.
Okay, wait. Yeah, let's do this.
We can definitely.
Toronto, that's Nylander. Vancouver, New York, that's JT Miller. All right, done that. Points per game, we're done. Shots, Timo Meyer, San Jose, New Jersey.
Yeah, he always gets
Colorado, Calgary, Colorado, that's Calgary.
Yeah.
Shooting percentage.
Ooh, who leads the league in shooting percentage? We haven't. Is it Pettersson? No.
Wow. Vancouver, Calgary.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I read Vancouver and I was like, Pettersson?
Vancouver, Calgary, Philadelphia, LA. Yo, that's difficult. What? That's a lot of teams.
Who is that?
I don't know. Let's keep going.
No,
Winnipeg.
Who went from Philly to LA? He played for 4 teams.
He just went from Philly to LA. He's on LA right now, is what that says. Like, if he's still assuming he's still playing, and he just came from Philadelphia. So try to think of players who fit that.
I'm gonna go time on ice. Werenski, yeah, that's crazy.
Doughty, Minnesota. That's Spurgeon.
That's a good pull. It's not. It's
Brodin then, or Faber. Actually, no, it's Faber. It's probably Faber.
Really, over the last 5 years?
Because he's not, because it's per game, right? So the fact that he's missed a few years is helpful.
Yeah.
Chicago. That's Seth Jones. That's Seth Jones.
Yes, it is. Pittsburgh.
That's
Letang.
Yeah. Shooting percentage, we can get a few of those guys. St. Louis, that's Barbashev. Yeah. LA Kings, Winnipeg, that's Velarde probably. Ottawa, Buffalo, that's probably Dylan or Josh Norris.
Just keep talking to me, Daddy.
I don't know that top one still.
Oh, okay. Why did I think it was Ehlers? Who's Winnipeg?
Oh, Winnipeg.
No.
Or It's probably Adam Lowry. It's probably someone really random. Okay, let's just leave that.
Okay.
All right, let's go down.
Goalies, Loki?
We can bang that out. Well, also that gets into goalies. So yeah, we can do hits though. Garnett Hathaway for Washington, Boston, Philly. That's Luke Shen. All those teams. Bro, if you put a Toronto in there, I'll know who it is.
Boston, Seattle, Nashville, Vegas. I gotta match you, dude. I gotta get all the Boston ones.
Seattle, Nashville, Vegas. Who played on? Seattle, Nashville's a very weird.
Boston, Seattle, Boston.
Oh, Colton Sissons, I think.
We didn't have assistants ever.
No, I'm doing Seattle, Nashville, Vegas, dog.
Yeah,
I can't even see.
It's Boston, Seattle, Nashville, Vegas.
Oh, I did not see Boston on top.
Yeah. Who's Vegas though? Let's get that done. Is that P?
No, it's Lausanne probably.
Oh, you're so correct. Oh,
nice, good job, buddy.
It makes so much more sense.
Can you scroll down because I can't see your head is there.
Sorry.
Washington, Winnipeg, New Jersey. Brendan Dillon, I think.
Minnesota.
Marcus Foligno, probably.
Vegas. Other Vegas.
Just Vegas. McNabb, maybe. Or Colasar. No, it's Colasar. Oh, that was for blocks. No, it's a K.
Oh, you're right. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Rutledge is just cooking at this.
Trouba. That's Trouba.
Yep.
That's probably who's still like someone who's just played on St. Louis. Parayko. Parayko, yeah. Calgary, Vegas, that's Anderson. Or Hannafin, actually, one of the two. Yeah, San Jose, probably Ferraro.
Oh, Burns is somewhere.
Probably Ferraro. Why would you use Burns? He's on Colorado right now, and he's played on Carolina before that.
He made me think of him, so I was just like,
oh, okay.
Okay, let's get into goalies. Buck.
Saros. Vass. Shesty. Markstrom.
Sorokin. St. Louis, Bennington. Who the heck is that guy? Is that
Kemper? Kuem. Kuem.
Yeah, I'm a little bit slow today. Sorry.
Buffalo. That's Allmark. Shitmark and Jari. And Swayman.
Yeah. Okay, stop it, dude. Let me have my victories, dude.
Say it first, then.
I'm focusing on typing, dude.
Islanders, Sorokin. You're fair. That is a fair argument.
We already have Sorokin. It's going to be.
Oh, then Varlamov. How do you pronounce it? Carolina. Freddie Anderson.
Kochetkov?
Oh, it is. Damn, bro. Toronto, Carolina. No. Did he play on? Oh, he did. He did actually, yeah. Anaheim, Florida. That's Toronto. It's Stolars for goals against average.
Yep. Vegas,
Washington. That's Logan Thompson. Yeah. Good job, Capo.
And Ottawa, Minnesota.
That's Gustafson.
You.
Ottawa had Joey Decord, Philip Gustafson, and someone else who were all good good on different teams and penalty minutes.
All right, let's try and get games played. Like we gotta get guys that just aren't like playing a bunch of games for like Philly and the Rangers. Like not playing for multiple teams does help.
Yes, I know, because you just think about one guy who's been on the team for a while. For just the Rangers, that's actually hard because they traded away so many of their defensemen. I guess it probably could. I don't know why I always think defensemen for games played.
Is it?
Could it be Lafreniere? Yeah, that's exactly actually what I thought.
Let's go. We both got to the same place at the same time, and you're like, huh?
Philly could be like Konechny.
Is it Tippett?
No,
Actually,
he was on
those are-
Ottawa, or he was on Florida in this decade. No,
That is how you spell it, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, 5 minutes. We got 6 names to get. Come on.
Sanheim could be Sanheim.
You 1 down. All right. Colorado, Arizona, Utah for penalty minutes.
Just a goon. Oh, yeah.
So really, Colorado to Arizona, if you want to
Ute.
think old, or Colorado to Utah now.
We're just Colorado, Arizona, and he's currently on Utah. Who's below? I can't see. Who are those last two at the bottom? Oh yeah. Yo, I legit don't know. Wait, where are the other categories? Because there's 3. We're missing 2 others elsewhere.
Yeah, it's
that. Yo.
And where's the other one? That's it.
No, well, we are missing
There's
5.
2
You can look
shooting,
at the
2
top.
shooting and 3.
Oh, who's the other shooting? Oh,
You
the
can-
random Winnipeg guy, right?
Yeah, you can see them all now. So let's just try and bang them.
Dude, I legit don't know. Like for any of these, I actually don't even have a guess.
Dude, we gotta get one for Colorado, Utah. There's definitely somebody that we are just not thinking of that's gone from those teams, and it has to be somebody who's gotten a lot of minutes because there's no way you don't. Bro, you can't search it up.
I'm Googling Utah's lines, dude.
That's
what I'm
cheating.
Googling.
That's cheating.
I don't care.
That's cheating.
Didn't even help.
All right.
Yeah, legit didn't even help. Yep, still don't know.
Who the
Honestly,
heck?
the 2 Calgary Floridas at the bottom.
Let's just name. Okay, let's name their players.
On
It's
Utah.
not Cooley. It's not Schmaltz. It's not Sergachev.
That's what I don't even know who's. It's like Ian Cole. Like, was he on Colorado? I know he's on Utah right now.
He was. That's a great guess. Fuck. All right, how about the shooting percentage, guys? I feel like we can get one of those.
Yo, that top one with the multiple teams.
The Winnipeg one's shouting at me because they have skilled guys down the lineup. Vancouver, Calgary, Philly, LA. I feel like you also need to get that one. Dude, these are all screaming at me. Like, I feel like you need to get all of these.
Not gonna lie, I don't have a guess, and I'm actually fully willing to give up. I can't lie. Mostly because, like, it's just gonna be you and I humming and hawing here for the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and
I'll cut it.
I know, but I also just I don't really care about finishing it off.
Okay. All right, we'll give up. We give up. There's 5 left. We don't know who they are. Let's see who they are. Oh, we were never getting the first one. How do I close out of this? It won't let me close it.
There's got to be a way, bro.
Okay, I figured it out. Now I need to go back and.
Can you put it back on there, please?
Yes, I am doing it. All right, so the first one we were definitely not going to get.
It was Liam O'Brien. His name crossed my mind, but I didn't think he played for Colorado.
We didn't get Mark Scheifele.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. We didn't actually guess that. And also, I just should have known. I and both those. I actually should have known both those. I was never going to get O'Brien. There's so many teams, it feels like it would be obvious, but sometimes that's harder. Like, it's easy when it's like 2 or 3, but when it's like 4 teams, bro, it's hard.
Hey, man, not bad. 98%, 83 average. Like, all things considered, not off.
I agree.
Awful. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you've joined us this far, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's YouTube or podcast or Instagram, I'm sorry, I'm fried. After that Sporcle, that just got me going crazy. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back to your regular content coming out on Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you there next time we drop the puck. Have a good one, everybody.